Callicles' view, in effect, reduces human beings to the state of animals. He fails to recognize that the human mind is higher than nature. He's quick to dismiss all the creations of thought as meaningless conventions. This view does not realize that all these things which we call culture are precisely what separate us from the animals. They play important roles in determining our very humanity. Most of us would reject the idea that everything we are as human beings and as individuals is simply the sum total of our physical bodies. While our bodies are, of course, important and necessary for us, there's something else that makes us unique individuals. While we never cease to stand in awe of nature in many different areas, the human mind and its creation represents a separate sphere that is absolutely essential for our humanity and our personal identity. There's something demeaning in the idea of Callicles that we should just behave like wild animals. This insults the very heart of our humanity, which is higher than nature. Callicles goes on to rebuke Socrates for his excessive pursuit of philosophy. While he grants that some philosophy can be beneficial, he claims that too much of it can lead one away from being an active man in the world. He claims, quote, "Philosophy is a pleasant pastime if one engages in it with moderation at the right time of life. But if one pursues it further than one should, it will bring ruin." Too much philosophy makes people distracted and makes it difficult for them to engage in their daily business. Callicles sounds condescending and patronizing in his concern for Socrates, but he foreshadows, in a sense, Socrates' fate when he says, quote, "As things are now, if anyone were to arrest you and drag you off to prison on a charge of which you were innocent, you would be quite helpless. You could be sure of that. You would be in a daze and gape and have nothing to say, and when you got into court, however unprincipled a rascal the prosecutor might be, you would be condemned to death." While one cannot say that Socrates was in a daze or had nothing to say in his defense at the trial, Callicles' anticipation of the ultimate result of it is in fact accurate. Callicles thus recommends that Socrates give up the life of contemplation and enter into an active life, which means being engaged in the affairs of the state. It should be noted that Callicles' claim that human convention inverts the natural law and oppresses the strong for the sake of the weak was a source of inspiration for Nietzsche's theory of the development of moral terms in his work on the genealogy of morals. Nietzsche's main target of criticism is Christianity, which he believes played the key historical role in the distortion of natural values. It then produced what Nietzsche regards as sick human beings in the modern world who are always in conflict with their own inward passions, which they must artificially repress. Callicles' portrayal of the strong individual who one day will have the power to shake off previous conventions and revolt against them sounds very much like Nietzsche's description of the Übermensch, or Superman, who will have the strength to reject the mainstream value system based on Christianity and create his own values. Nietzsche's thesis is that this distortion of human nature over the centuries has led to many of the problems in the modern world.